Well, I'm starting the hike out of here. I meant to get some video while I was there, but I'll throw up some pictures. But this is the Butterfly Trail. Oh, had a little external nosebleed, I guess.
Sunny. Highs 76 to 81.
Thanks, Noah. But there's a crashed plane that crashed here in 1957, an F-86. And I just dropped my glove, and now I have to hunch over to pick it up. But it's along the Butterfly Trail. It's basically
around 10 miles per hour after midnight. Thursday.
It's basically once you reach the top of the river, there's a very steep uphill on the left, and then some rocks blocking a rogue trail on the right that goes even further up the creek path, and that's where the F-86 is at.
Friday, mostly sunny. Highs 72.
I'd turn the radio off, but I gotta take my backpack to reach the volume knob. It's back there. This is also the first time using my iPhone 15, and the photos are phenomenal compared to my iPhone 11. Mostly because the photos supposedly always shot in RAW, but now like you actually get an option between HDR and RAW, and editing them makes them far less crunchy. Got ourselves some running water here. Now, this is my first time with this new backpack and actually fully backpacking in for a night. I definitely overpacked, but I kind of underpacked water. I know a lot of people like to purify water on the spot, but I figured 5 liters would be enough. Which I think it's just enough for an overnight hike, because I got 1 liter left now to hike out. But if there was ever an emergency, I have a life straw, which is nice because as long as there's running water, I can reuse, just fill up my empty water bottles that I brought back with me to fill them with dirty water, and then I don't even have to use it. It filters it as I'm drinking it. I don't even think it's a Life Straw brand. It's something very similar. Last year, because there's so much more grass growing around here. But I'm further down the stream, maybe like quarter to half a mile, and there's another part of the plain. I know for obvious reasons, gravity and rainfall and everything, it's slowly migrating down the mountain. Apparently even the engine that's up there has migrated down from where it's at today. So yeah, that's neat to see. Fuck off, fly. I got a giant horsefly buzzing me. Kind of a beautiful view. Sight's so shaky, it's in a wide angle lens and there's no image stabilization. This is the Osprey Ether Pro. It's a 70 liter bag. I liked it because they said Pro. And also it was 70 liters, which is in between 60 and 80, which is too small and too big. So, and also because the frame stood out to me. I just wanted a backpack with a really strong frame because I'm not a very smart packer. So I got a backpack that could take the abuse of if I accidentally packed 60 pounds, because I accidentally packed about 50 pounds coming out here. Because like I said, I'm not like an adamant lightweight backpacker, so I brought 5 liters of water with me instead of just boiling it on the spot when I get there for the night. But it should be 45 pounds now, maybe 40, after eating 3 MREs and drinking 4 liters of the water. I swear that fly better not dive bomb me and make me fall off this cliff. Yeah, that's right. Zoom all the way in. Oh, there's the mine. Fuck off, fly. So this hike is about 4 miles according to my watch, and 3 miles, just over 3 miles according to Gaia GPS on my phone. So I would call it about 3.5 miles. But it said that I gained 400 feet in elevation, even though it certainly felt like downhill hiking for most of the trip to the plane crash. So I thought I was going to regret walking uphill today with my legs already sore, but it's been pretty flat. It's a very rocky path, but it's a lot of even uphill and downhill. A little word of advice whenever backpacking of any kind, I highly recommend trekking poles, even not backpacking if you're just day hiking, because these are amazing. Basically just get anything with a replaceable tungsten carbide tip, and they grip to the sides of rocks at like even a 45-degree angle, because tungsten carbide harder than rock. Come here. And also I think the shape of the tip really helps. I'm on focus. There we go. So anyways, it's like a reverse spike. The spike goes inwards and it gives it all that sharp edge to grip on rocks. Now obviously they break down after a while, but I've taken these on like a dozen hikes and they're still sharp enough to grip rocks and probably even like cut your finger. Also watch out for the type of hinge. These are the best ones Black Diamond makes. You really don't need that extreme of a pull, but I like this hinge type. This is what I was going after, because working with camera equipment, I've seen all the other cheaper hinges and I just know they're gonna break. These are harder to adjust the tension since you need a tool, but realistically once you adjust the tension, that's all you need. Don't get the twist lock ones. Those are trash, at least what I've dealt with tripods and such. And then there's a little single armed swivel ones, and those are all right. I would definitely get those over the twist locks. Don't ever get twist locks, they're trash. But if you can get a very even hinge like this, cam lock hinge, that's where the money's at, because it's very durable and it's got a very strong grip. So I think this is where I ate shit yesterday, or maybe it was up there. But I was just walking downhill. I had my trekking poles out and everything to keep my balance, and then my legs are like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a break. And I leaned too far, and it's just like laying down a motorcycle at parking lot speeds. Once that weight gets so far over with a heavy pack, there's no stopping it. You just gotta control the fall. Getting up wasn't easy either. I mean, like, I wasn't hurt or anything, but I did get like the thoughts rushing through my head. It's like, if I break an ankle while I'm out here, I'm kind of screwed. I just gotta like hobble my way back. Another Vista break. Luckily, there's not too many of these switchbacks on this particular trail. Down there is where the last clip came from. Oh man, this sucks. Hiking out the next day, just going all uphill switchbacks. But like I said, I think this is the only switchback to get to higher elevation, and then it's up and downs from there. So I think that was the last switchback. Please no more switchbacks. My lungs and my legs are killing me. This does feel like a lot more uphill on the way out than on the way in. Well, I lied. There's at least one more switchback. I think this is the last one. Looking uphill, it doesn't look like there could possibly be any more. On a side note, this new ProRes log on the iPhone 15 Pro Max looks amazing. I mean, it looks flat as hell because obviously I haven't edited it yet. But that's exactly what I want to see. I've shot in log on different cameras before, and it's worth it if you already plan on doing any kind of editing to your videos. One thing I really like about this backpack is the horizontal water bottle holder, because other backpacks are just such a pain in the ass to reach your water bottle on the side holders. One thing I don't like about this backpack is how close it is to my head, and I can't wear my cowboy hat, and my face is just getting blasted in the sun. It's gonna be nice and spicy by the time I'm done with this. Yeah, it was definitely mostly a downhill hike because I've just been hiking uphill this whole time. I think why my watch showed a 400-foot gain in elevation is because I was in one of the, like a mountain finger like that because of the stream and everything. And there's a lot of GPS reflections, even though the Ultra has dual band GPS, which should reduce reflections. It thought I was on top of the mountain, which would be a 400-foot gain in elevation. But yeah, this is definitely a pack that you should be careful backpacking into because it's all downhill to the location and then all uphill on the way home. One thing's for certain, backpacking is definitely one hell of a leg workout. If I get anything out of this, it's gonna be stronger legs. Problem is I wore fleece linings underneath my jeans coming in and everything was just fine. But because everything's uphill on the way out, my legs are nice and toasty. Probably should have taken off the fleece linings before I left, but I'm not stripping on the trail. So I'm about halfway back. There's only one more switchback, but the rest of this should be pretty smooth sailing. On a little side note that I just remembered, a little side story. My last deployment, I just got back from a week ago, and we watched The Covenant like 5 fucking times because it's such a good movie, and it's one of the few things we had to watch. And on the way back, man, there's like 2 woodpeckers going to town on some tree up there. But on the way back, our Uber driver in Houston was actually an Afghan translator that was on that program that if they help us for a certain amount of time, they get expedited U.S. citizenship. So I thought that was pretty cool. We got a ride to the hotel from the Covenant guy. Not really, but there's a lot of translators. It was kind of a cool thing I just remembered on the hike back. So I'm on the second set of switchbacks. This one's still pretty steep, but it's not nearly as rocky. I guess if you ever want to like see the trail going down to the plane crash, you could just watch this video in reverse. And this will be the easy switchbacks you hit first, and then you hit the hard one second. There's the radio tower, and the plane crashes like that cove right below it. Funny thing is, that ridge line is a whole bunch of camping area, and I've camped there like a dozen times before I actually found the plane crash. I always heard about it. I never really put much time into looking for it until last year. Yeah, it was right underneath me, right underneath our popular camping spot for many years, which was funny. Well, I should have about less than a mile left to the trailhead. There's another backpacking campsite down there, kind of in that pocket, but there's already people there, so I was going to do a video there, but I obviously wasn't going to like stop and intrude on their little hiking trip. But yeah, it's a great trail. It's pretty difficult for backpacking just because of how rocky it is, or at least an amateur backpacker like myself. But there's only one way to get better, and that's leg day at the gym and just doing it. There's actually 2 ways of getting better, but you know. The beginning and the end of this trail is definitely the most beautiful part. Just a lot of foliage here. The beginning of the trail just has a really nice path, just really smooth, no rocks, nice gradient hills. It's a great trail. Another nice thing about getting closer to the trailhead is the weather got so much cooler and the wind picked up, And all that sweat that I've been accumulating is now doing its job and cooling me down. Of course, right before I get to my truck. It'd be nice to have that halfway through the hike. I just now realized the Pro backpack has these side cinches that pulls your bag nice and tight. This whole time they've been undone and obviously not tightened because they weren't buckled. So my center of gravity's been hanging further back than it should have. I don't have very far to go, but I guess I might as well do it right for the last half mile and cinch them up. So I got about a quarter mile left. This will be the last clip of this journey. There's the, just for comparison, there's the mine that I showed off in the beginning, just to show how far I've gotten. Yeah, that's the Butterfly Trail, Mount Lemmon, near Tucson, Arizona. Okay, I get it. It's been more than 2.5 miles, dude. I forget what mountain range that is. You got San Manuel out there. But yeah, that's it. I don't know how to end this video. Yep. Boy, I tell you what, Bill sure knows how to make a good powdered coffee.